So at what point does this start? So I'm going to watch a Nancy Today video on here because I'm just curious. Who is this person that everybody's watching? I want to go find out who she is. So, want to watch with me? This is about the bird feeder hanging up this morning, I think. Let's see what she comes up with. It curled around. See now, like there was a bunch before that. It was like, oh, hi, oh there, oh my hair's all curly. Look at that. And then I said something else. It curled around while I was sleeping. See how thick it is up at the top, and then once it gets beyond my shoulders, it's like half as thick? Excuse me. Oh, I should have a blue one now. What's that big black dot on her cheek? Well, good morning. Is it on my cheek now? So here we are again. Let's see. So, no. Okay, wait. Oh, we just missed something. We have to go back. So I think I'm going to. Okay. Here we go. Excuse me. Oh, I should have a blue one now. Well, good morning. So here we are again. I sure think of myself as a younger person. This chickadee is quite interested in finding all these seeds. So I think I'm going to help him out a little bit here. I'm going to put this bird feeder back up. But first I'm going to get this thing down. Remember the other day when I was doing the grapevines? I just hung them all up there. Then the squirrels can't. Yeah, that was kind of tricky to get it off there. You can't jump to it. It has to be 5 feet away. Now let's look at this house. There's my parents' chair. I really don't need that bookcase in the corner. I don't like any of the books that are in it, I don't think. I have to finish working on that thing on the table, too. Oh, hi, Suze. We're just watching Nancy today. We're just seeing what she's been up to. It's good for a laugh, you know. I needed to laugh. I haven't laughed all day. I have all these serious thoughts in my head. Serious. Let's look at her. You can't even hear what she's saying. Or maybe it's just me. That was kind of tricky. I finally figured out that I had to take them apart individually. But that's kind of hard because they're all jumbled right up together there. Sound like she's got a cold, eh? I'm a bit concerned about that RV that we stay in at the camp because there's a huge plague of mice in the walls and the ventilation system. And there's also a moldy kind of smell. I'm not sure. What is hanging on the back of the dress? Something like a tie on there. Oh, you think I'm a lovely person. Thank you. Yes, I have to be friendly to myself. I have to give myself permission to not be capable of everything. You know? How old will I have to be before I decide that? It's like, how old would I have to be before I could decide what I wanted on my walls and not? You know, my walls I've never finished my walls. Like, look at this. Like, this wall, stop. This wall's not finished, right? Like, there's 2 pictures that are just stuck there. And there's a tamarack duck, and then that's, you know, like, that needs work. And look over here. these two clocks, like, they don't go like that. And that is hanging down. Like, if I look at this room, and if I look at the walls, like, there's a lot of stuff that's just not finished yet.
Oh, my mess. I make a mess. I've exploded again. Hey, I met somebody that cleans houses. I just may end up having a cleaner house. Okay. Now then.
So what is she up to now? Look at all the wrinkling on that neck. Wow. That is so different from years ago when these videos started. What is that spot on her cheek? Oh, she's in the sunroom. Nobody's supposed to see the sunroom. It's a big embarrassment, but when I get in there and filming, I don't care that I'm showing it to you. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, those things that you pull, and you can pull them down, you can put them up. One quote which has helped me is, I have enough, I do enough, and I am enough. That's nice. I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough, I do enough, and I am enough. Yes, good ones. Hey, I did router a few signs for the camp. One says pray. Another one says
I don't see anything.
I forget what it says.
That looks like what I'm looking for.
I think I saw them in the store yesterday. That's why I thought I saw them lately.
I thought I had it here somewhere.
But I pretty well decided that it was in Dollarama. So we got a friend that's doing our railings. That one railing is still laying on the floor. He's going to take it apart, I think, and use some of the pieces.
Okay,
And I
so
did
what
weave
else
some
we got
this morning.
What have we got over here? I used to have some a really long one.
Yeah, there's this metal thing. My mother had it. Big hook on either end, but it doesn't seem to be there anymore.
Right here.
You know, some of the stuff I have,
In a tree over here.
I don't think I really plan to use it. Like, I have this whole basket of dandelion stems upstairs, and then just a minute ago we saw on the side of the woodshed a basket hanging there that's full of horsetail. Isn't that a pretty view? Oh my gosh, I want to just walk through there. Hey, the guy that does that made one like that, he lives just around the block. I could go over there. It's 5:45. He might be home. I could go and ask him if he'll do mine. See, these are my possible endings for it.
Go from this tree straight through over there. That's a longer span. It would be better if it were from this tree. If I made a place.
Hi, Rose.
Where there was an opening.
How are you? I'm just watching Nancy Today.
It could be attached here as well.
It's kind of interesting, because I have an opinion about everything that's in this, and it's so fascinating because, of course, I'm showing you all the things I'm interested in when I'm doing that, and so when I watch it then,
Wire hooks in the trees.
I'm interested. I had one of those hooks in the tree.
Here? We've already checked on here.
Now see, there's the basket. That basket right there hanging is full of horsetail. I have enough, I do enough, and I am enough. That's a really interesting thing. This is, you know, I have enough, I am enough, I do enough. See, sometimes I try and follow the promptings. What should I do next? I try and listen and follow those pictures that come in my head. And the ones that I get are different than the ones that other people get. But when I get one about my life, it's about my life. And I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. But I'm the only one that may know that, right? Like, I do enough. Do I really do enough? What else would I do? What would I not do, and what would I do differently? And my perception of how much I do and another person's perception of how much I do. But you know, how much a person does is a very personal thing. I mean, I don't ever go around noticing how much a person does or whether they do enough or not enough, or, you know, like, it's a weird place to put yourself, is to be in charge of someone else's time. Don't you think? Like, that's really kind of, it's very personal. People make their choices with their time, and then they live with their choices, and it's not up to other people whether, you know. I guess the exception to that is if you have hired someone and you are paying their salary. And in a case like that, then it is, you have the right to expect certain things because you are employing them. Heavenly Father doesn't do that to us, though. He doesn't employ us. He's very kind and gentle and patient. And if we feel like doing something right now, something, you know, make him very happy. But he's not going to be really unhappy if we don't. He knows us. It's like the little child, you put ice cream on the table and tell me wait 5 minutes. One child will wait and the other one won't. And you know which one is which. And it's nothing about knowing the future as much as knowing the person. And he is patient with us. If we don't do enough, he's not going to come and rattle our tree. You know, he lets time work things out. He lets the karma, cause and effect that's going on, he lets it teach us. Like we learn, my friend put my phrase to music. Wisdom is the consolation prize for messing up. Wisdom is the consolation prize for messing up. Let me hear it again. Wisdom is a consolation prize. Everybody together. For messing up. Wisdom is the consolation prize for messing up. And you can't create anything at all without making a mess. You can't create anything at all without making a mess. From the beginning now, wisdom is a consolation prize for messing up. Wisdom is the consolation prize for messing up. And nothing, you can't create anything at all without making a mess. No, you can't create anything at all without making a mess. I think there's going to be another verse to that. I forget what other. I love that. Oh, I've always loved that song. Oh, that's a great song. My friend Lori next door. She lives through the woods. You know, I can walk through the woods and I can get to her house. That is probably something I should do frequently because there's nothing quite as awesome as being in the woods, even if the woods is sort of next to your deck. It's more awesomer to be completely in it. But I'm not doing that right now because it's a hot day today. It's was 32 today. I don't know. 32 and 30, 32 and 32 and 32. 30, 60, 90, 246, 96 degrees today. That's hot for us. Very hot. But it's not as hot as 34. I don't think it's ever been up hotter than 34 here, ever. Maybe it was been 35, but never. That's it. Never hotter than that. 34 is about as hot as it ever gets. I don't know if it ever was 35. So what's 100? 100, take away 32 is 68. Divided by 2 is 34. So 34 is 100. Yep, that's as hot as it gets. I've done said my piece. You know, when I watch television, when I sit down, it's really nice to be at home and just be able to be entertained. I don't have any kind of television, and my laptop, I can play Minecraft, which is just in the computer, but if I want to start watching the news or watching anything, it's all my data, and so I don't do it. And so but you know, this is this is kind of nice to just sit here and veg out. I've been working on my skirt. It's not a skirt anymore. It's going to be a shawl. So I took it and I divided it. Here, I'll open it up. Okay, so it is going to be, it's not quite finished. I have to sew that part yet. But see, I've doubled this width. See, this is the wrong side. I have this little bit to go. Then I sewed too much here. I have to unsew part of that for my head. And then I have to wash this. Once it's all sewn in place, then I'm going to wash it under hot water and shrink all this cotton. And once the cotton string shrinks, you shouldn't be able to see so much of it. And all the gaps should disappear. I'm hoping. But I have to finish sewing it. Ta-da! Wisdom is the consolation prize. Oh, somebody said something I didn't read. It was a big one. Stop. Let me see. Okay. Imagine saying I look so beautiful. Nancy, you look so beautiful. Rose says. Suze says, it helps me immensely. Rose says, I'm going to save that quote. It'll help me too. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. So happy to pass it on. Women never feel they do enough. I think the quote has to do with what others' judgments of us might be. Our other people might be harsher to us. Well, yes, absolutely. It is to empower the individual. I put that quote in my journey. Your quote, love it. How's Rose saying that? Wisdom from Nancy and friends. Love that song. What are you doing home, Nancy? Well, I'm home because we've been babysitting the children, the grandchildren, and then the grandchildren went to Ottawa yesterday, Friday, and so I'm home alone, and Willem is coming. He'll be here in a couple of hours. He's coming back from the camp. The week is over. Ta-dum, ta-dum. Last campers left around maybe 2 or something. So when the last campers leave, then he can finish all the garbage and go, hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Oh, goodbye, Suze. I'm sorry that you said that. I was busy not noticing. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess we're here for the weekend now, and so we have a camp full of young men this next week. This is a beautiful view out here. I'm going to show you this view I'm sitting in staring at. See how the wind is blowing the trees a little bit? Do you notice that this tree has seeds on it? But hold on, now this is a, oh yeah, the seeds are from those leaves right there are big ones. Those are basswood. But on the other side of it is a maple, isn't it? Yeah, this part down here is maple leaves. So that one's a maple and this one is a basswood. I think it's just the two of them. I think all of those are basswood, and maple. But you know what? I don't like it that the window is closed and I can't smell it. I can feel the breeze. I feel the breeze from this fan. Yes, a basswood and a maple. Oh well, I should probably sew some more of this. I have this system I've got going here now. I take my needle, I put two threads together and I sew the bottom of, or I make a knot in the bottom of the two. It's hard to do anything with my thing going the wrong way. So there we are. So I take two of them and I put a knot in them. A knot. Oh, you must go. Well, goodbye, Rose. It's very nice to have you drop in. We're not doing a lot here. We're just watching Nancy today, and now that you're here, we're having a visit, which is very nice. I'm still waiting for you to come to Canada. You know that, eh? I'm still waiting. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. Now, then, how are we going to do this? So you can see what's going on. We have to make this very far away, if possible. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. You know, this is kind of cool that this is made out of cedar bark, don't you think? I mean, this is pretty eccentric. I like that I have so many baskets in my house too, you know? So I'm kind of doing a blanket stitch, or I was doing a blanket stitch, but now I'm kind of just going back and forth sewing them together. In and out, in and out, in and out for a few inches. Don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. Don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. I'm a little concerned about having two edges meeting each other like this. Maybe I have to go through and tie all those ends together. Where are you? Are you underneath everything? There, we did it. We got it in there. These strips here are not, they're too fresh. They're too stiff. I have to weather them a bit. I'm hoping the washing machine will do that. But I hope that it's not going to mangle it all. I'll have to be careful how I do it. Maybe I should, do you think I could shrink it in the sink? Like if I just put it in hot water? Would the cotton thread shrink then? You know what I need? A porcupine. I know I don't need it. I have enough, right? We have everything we really need right here all the time. And from the looks of me, I don't need any more to eat for a long time. Time to add another string to it. I've never made a cedar bark skirt before, have you? Or a cedar bark shawl? But you know, it's been done a million times by people in the past. The Salish nation, the indigenous peoples of the far west, no, not the far west, the Western Canada. Kind of like weaving, you know, to wherever you were under, you go over. I only have 2 more to do, and then it is done. Look, there's 3 of you here. Thank you for showing up and being here. Showing up is nice. Yep, sometimes that's all you have to do is show up. Just show up. Sorry, you're not getting a very interesting video, are you? I'm sewing my dress to my cedar bark skirt. Nothing new. We should be watching Nancy today. Then we could be learning something. Wonder what there is to learn on there. I'll have to go and see if it's... I was reading a message that I got. It might have been a 7-year-old message, or maybe it was recent, but somebody said, I watched all 526 of your soap making videos. Good grief, that's a lot of soap making videos. I wonder if there's anything new in any of them after the third. Okay. How come it's not on the right? It's not over far enough. This is not lined up. Nancy, we can't be having things that are not lined up. This is our very important skirt. Okay. Cedar bark. Can you imagine? And there's a beautiful pattern in it too. What a beautiful pattern. I love that. It's bird's eye. You know, that would be kind of a very, very beautiful pattern on a basket. If you could weave a basket with that pattern. You know, I have a bag full of basket making things. Wouldn't it be interesting if I could actually work on one of these patterns, you know, like over 1 over 3, over 1 over 2, over 1 over 3, you know, and then the next one is, you know, over 2 under 3 over whatever. So it'd be something changing every time, and so you end up with a diagram, something, a diamond. Interesting thoughts, eh? I wonder if you could take your uprights and you could use a marker and just draw your picture on the uprights. So it's like my fingers, you know, that's all you've got is just those. But you draw the pattern on that. And then while you're weaving, you see that those are the places that you go over. Like you go over every time you find your dot there. And that would be, you would be not going from a pattern, just a mind pattern, and trying to put it onto a basket, but it would already be part of the basket and you'd just be filling it in. Or, you know, that would be interesting. I got some beautiful rushes yesterday. I love working with rushes. Okay, so I think I have finished with this. Let's turn this around. And we shall get this and we shall see about washing it. But maybe we better check because some of these in the center, this place here where I patched it, this stuff might be dangerous. This stuff might, maybe I should pull every string first and make sure they're nice and snug. I guess they're in this seam. I did a seam in there, but look, some of them can go anyway, can be pulled more snugly. Snugglierly. So what if I pulled all of them? You aren't going to be able to see it again. But I'll be able to use 2 hands. So, what is more important? Well, we know what's more important to me. See if I can push all these ones up to the bottom. See, now these are all quite loose. These strings here. I don't want to just have them shrink. I want them to be, I want to have them pulled taut first so that they don't end up disappearing up into the fabric. It looks like each one of those has been, yeah, see this here. See, if I pull it like that and line all that up, that's good. But I think I need them all on the same side so I can do this. See, I can pull them. We should be listening to Nancy today at the same time. Then I could figure out what's going on that show. It's funny how that thread, that sewing machine thing went through every, this, you know, it went through all these threads. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them it actually caught. That's just a small stitch, but this is good. See, because it's just way too loose at the edge there. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. You know, some things come up in your head and you just don't understand them. Whether it's behavior and reactions or, you know, you just don't understand and it doesn't make sense. And you get all twisted up thinking, am I seeing this correctly? Like, what are the facts here? The facts of the matter. Right? It's important to know what the facts are because that's the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Is my behavior out of line? What is the truth of the matter? What are the facts? don't mind waiting on you. Oops. I don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting for you, Lord. You know, when you don't put yourself out there, when you just stay at home, there's a lot of things you don't have to deal with. You don't have to deal with with other people's thoughts and feelings about you. It's just a totally not important thing. Not until you're facing them, and you face people all the time. Then it's in your face what they think of. No. So what are you doing while I'm doing this? I doubt you're just sitting there looking at it. Just watching, spellbound. Not a chance. Well, there is a chance, but not much. I think I'm pretty boring, personally. A lot of what I do is just a lot of boring stuff. But I thought I should watch it, see what it is. So I'm not watching it, I'm talking and doing nothing. Focusing on this, pulling all these little strings and tightening them up. As I tighten them up, the cedar bark slides back on them. You see, and then they get more organized. But a lot of these threads, the sewing machine went right through the middle of so many of these threads. See, this is what I want to achieve by washing it too. I want all these threads to be tightened right up. See here, it's, you know, I gotta get better at filming. You'd think I would have figured this out by now after 15 years. See, they are getting much tighter there now. They aren't all flopping about. Here's a bit of a problem. See, like here, see how loose those are? Well, that's what needs to be pulled through. Okay, I gotta stop doing this, right? See, now the other side is all still sticking through on this side. I just thought I had just taken them all over to the other side. But here they are on this side again. And this is all way too loose, isn't it? Look at all that. All right, enough of that. Let's go outside. It's too hot in here. Oh, very hot out here. One day I'm going to sort this out. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that if this couch were at this angle, I could turn this into a little area here. You know, right now it's just a passageway. But if this came out and that was over here, this would be a little something or other. But this is always going the wrong way. I love fleece. I just love it. It's just amazing how beautiful it is. And I know when other people come, you know, I don't think they would want to sit on it, but I love it. Even if it isn't all perfectly cleaned yet. Let's see if there's a deer down there. Hello, it's just me.